Do you have what it takes to be a hero? The soldier rushes into combat to save his comrade. The firefighter crawls through flames and suffocating smoke to rescue a little girl. The police officer places himself between a murderer and a citizen to take the bullet. All of these examples have an element of danger to them. The paramedic keeps your heart beating, then the doctor ensures it returns to normal. The dollars you donated feed starving children in Africa or refugees from Syria. But is this the only way to be a hero? Do you have to be in danger or be saving lives? How else might one demonstrate courage? The year is 1899. When war broke out between Spain and the United States, prompt communication with insurgent groups supporting the U.S. was essential. Garcia, an insurgent leader, was somewhere in the vast jungle of Cuba. No one knew where. There was neither mail nor telegraph that could reach him. President William McKinley needed to secure Garcia's assistance immediately. What to do? One of the president's aides knew a guy. "Sir, there's a man by the name of Rowan who will find Garcia, if anybody can." Rowan took the letter, strapped to his chest in an oilskin pouch, and in 4 days landed by night on the coast of Cuba, disappearing into the jungle. 3 weeks later, Rowan emerged from the other side of the vast jungle. Rowan delivered the letter to Garcia. The details of his trek are insignificant. Rowan succeeded. The point is that McKinley gave Rowan a letter to be delivered to Garcia. Rowan took said letter and did not ask, "Where is he at in this jungle?" or why. Such resolve and a can-do attitude are one of the greatest attributes one could develop in themselves. Not book learning, but developing intestinal fortitude, guts, to concentrate your energy and do the thing. Carry a message to Garcia. General Garcia is dead now, but there are other Garcias. Any leader who endeavored toward a goal which would require the hands of many has been frustrated by the average human's inability or unwillingness to simply concentrate on a thing and just do it. The trait shows itself in many things: poorly executed assistance, inattentiveness, and indifference to the goals of the team, and half-hearted work. This is too often the average of mankind. Try this. Call upon 6 colleagues or subordinates and ask them, "Please look in the encyclopedia and make a brief synopsis concerning the life of Correggio." Will any of them respond, "Yes, sir," and see to the task? Probably not. They will look at you perplexed and ask one or more of the following questions. Who was he? Which encyclopedia? Where is the encyclopedia? Was I hired for that? Don't you mean Bismarck? What's the matter with Charlie doing it? Is he dead? Is there any hurry? Can I just bring you the book for you to look it up? Why do you want to know? Sure enough, once you have answered these questions, the newfound helper will march off and have someone else help them find Garcia before coming back to you and explaining that the person does not exist. You will probably not explain to your newfound helper that Correggio is under the seas and not the case. You will instead smile and say, "Never mind," and go look it up yourself, or give up the endeavor altogether. At times, it is brave to simply do the thing. This discipline takes strength that can only be gained when you choose to give it to yourself. You see the bookkeeper? Yes. What about him? Well, he's a good accountant, but if I send him to town on an errand, he might accomplish the errand by day's end. But he'll also stop at a bar and a grocer on his way back and stop to chat with a friend in the middle. Can such a man be entrusted to carry a message to Garcia? People often speak of how hard it is to get ahead in life, how the man keeps them down. This talk is not entirely meritless. However, one far less often hears of the boss who grows old prematurely in a vain attempt to get inattentive help to do intelligent and focused work, to continually hone their craft. There is constantly a weeding out and weeding up process going on. The employer is always sending away help who does not find Garcia. This process is imperfect, but what if you're the one who does find Garcia? Self-interest prompts most every leader to seek the best followers to the utmost that their authority will allow. The man so morally deformed as to whimper about in his existence is no less to be pitied than someone who is physically crippled, but in your pity, also drop a tear for the brave men and women who are striving to carry on a great enterprise, to shape the world to be better for the rest of us. Those whose working hours have nothing to do with checking in or checking out, and whose hair counts fewer and grayer by the day as they struggle to hold the line despite shoddy assistance. There is no superiority between leading or following, and not all employers are high-handed, neither are all workers virtuous. The world cries desperately for one who can, one who will. But is putting your head down and getting after it enough? I think not, although this will put you several steps beyond most. This is also the risk of becoming a yes man. Yes men are cowards. Perseverance, to be sure, is an incredibly useful trait, but mindless followership is seldom the most ideal prescription. Taken too far, the lessons from a message to Garcia can be somewhere between detrimental and dangerous. In the context of the industrial age, perhaps a more pure form of what we'll call Garcia-ship may have been appropriate. But the nature of our world and the workforce has changed dramatically. We now live in the age of information and technology. The gain from raw physical work is reduced now that mankind leverages so many gears and levers to have just a few people do the work that used to take several dozen. The buckle down and do it is also no longer so mindless. Soft skills based on interpreting imprecise information are vital to maximizing productivity, whether that's dollars earned, enemies slain, or lives saved. The importance of initiative and determination are not wrong, and their demand will never go away, but they should not be worshipped to a point that they supersede everything else. Rowan blindly accepts his mission without asking questions and continues recklessly without assessing the risk of losing his life and consequently failing to complete the mission. What if Garcia was already dead? When was the last time McKinley had heard from him? Without seeking guidance on what he was required to do and required not to do, perhaps Rowan got help from criminals to guide him through the jungle. Maybe civilians were bribed, coerced, or threatened in order for Rowan to succeed in his mission. In the modern world, would the public relations and political backlash of these actions be worthwhile? And even if they would be worth it by some measure, is it the right thing to do? Rowan's conduct or misconduct in executing his mission could fuel a successful enemy information campaign, squandering any gain made by delivering a message to Garcia as the people rise up, siding with Spain and against the U.S. For Rowan's story, as it is told, a servant is all that's required. You're not here to be a servant. You are here to be a hero. Ask all the questions. Figure out the why and how much it is worth. Offer better choices as they occur to you and, in the absence of leadership, make up your own mind. Tell your boss the cheaper way that is just as good or his plan just won't work. Tell your coworkers that we shouldn't be gossiping at work because we weren't there and Sarah is still our teammate. When Dave tries to take credit for Jessica's work, publicly praise Jessica for her contribution. This is not to be done without tact, and some degree of choosing your battles will be necessary. Once the decision is made, whether it's yours or someone else's, put your head down and execute vigorously. You can be brave. Put the greater good first, even if that means sacrificing your reputation or challenging your superior's instructions, or lack thereof. You are not here to cower in a corner. You are here to say the hard and difficult things that no one else in the room is willing to say. Common, everyday courage. Standing up when it isn't sexy to do so, when even doing so successfully gets you no praise. No one will write a book about it. There won't be a movie, but it is the right thing to do, and you are good enough to do it and do it well. Because I believe you do have what it takes to be a hero.